Hello everyone and welcome to my video where I'm going to show you guys how to install a Bluetooth auxiliary reader to your BMW 6 Series, or it can also be done on other cars which just has the auxiliary port and ideally a USB port as well. If you don't have a USB port, then I am going to show everyone how to install a secondary cigarette lighter where you can also have the USB ports attached to that as well. So let's jump into the video. So here's basically the idea right now. Inside my car I've got a phone holder cradle like that, okay? Doesn't get used for anything. But I've done a little bit of research and I believe that it has some cables going to it where I can tap into and get some extra USB ports basically. So what it basically does is it connects to the auxiliary cable just there, and it also needs an USB port charger to power it basically. It's a really small adapter and it will just let everything go in as it is. So I'm going to look at just removing this cradle so I can find out what the other ports are that I need to get the USB ports here. This is going to be good even if you don't do the Bluetooth thing. If you do have this cradle and you just want some extra USB ports, this should hopefully be helpful for you. So let's jump into it. So I think this is a little bit battered because it's kind of always making really weird noises and everything, and right, so oh okay, so this looks like it's already kind of coming off. Ah, damn it, these guys. So let me see if this is able to help me bring this out. Okay, right, so that's the main blank cover. I can see some screws here, which mean I probably need a screwdriver to take something off. You see, they're going to be a screwdriver, a Torx bits. It's a quick little thing. Basically, it's a T20 for this screw in here. I was able to use this ratchet little setup.
The next day.
Time to get this bad boy out of here. Right, okay, the 6 Series is finally in the garage for the first time, so it's a nice different experience for the car. So now that I've actually got the car in the garage, it's actually helpful for me because I've been able to put the car on trickle charge, purely because I've noticed I think the battery is a little bit weak on this car. But right, let's jump back into getting this Bluetooth auxiliary kind of reader in place. So let me jump around to the driver's side. Let me show you guys where I've gotten to so far. So from the last part of the video that you've seen, you saw me trying to dismantle the top part of the center console, and since then I've been experimenting a little. I've been doing a bit more research. I've been using a website called Real OEM. It's a BMW based website. I don't think it's made by BMW, but basically it has so much information on how these cars are put together. It's a brilliant website. I'll put a link to it down below. Trust me, if you have a BMW, it will save you a lot of time figuring things out, as well as being able to know what parts to get, etc., because you can get the exact part number once you find it. So if anyone does want a tutorial on how to use Real OEM, the best ways to find things, then leave me a comment below and I'll go for a quick little rundown on that. But yeah, let me jump into what this car looks like right now. So this is the little Bluetooth thing that I've bought. I got it off eBay. I'll put a link to it down below so you guys can purchase this as well. What in essence it is it's a little transmitter that converts Bluetooth signal into an auxiliary signal. I'll do a review of this once I've had it in place for a little bit of time. But obviously at the moment I'm trying to just get it installed properly, so it's not an auxiliary cable running from the cigarette lighter here all the way into there, because I don't like the way that cable looks. I have tested it out. It works fine. So all you do is literally, this just needs a power supply, so that's what I've got the cigarette lighter charger thing for, and then you plug in the auxiliary cable to it and it just basically feeds off of that. Now, how am I going to deal with that right now? So as you all know, I've been able to look into this. I've had a quick little play around in here to see if I can figure out which cables are needed. What I have realized is, because this is an earlier model car, it won't be able to have the enough power going to it with this cradle thing for me to feed into. I think at the moment you just unscrew the bolts at the bottom here and this will basically pop off. Now I don't really 100% need that off right now. Let me show you guys what I did over here. So this panel, which is the base panel, if you use a, let me grab one actually, if you use a prying tool, something kind of like this one, work your way all around it, all around here, all the way across here, loosen it up basically, and bit by bit you should be able to slide it all the way up. Now from sliding it up, you're able to basically get good access to it all. So I got this off eBay as well. I think it was eBay, but it might have been, actually no, I got this one off Amazon, but I think the same thing is available on eBay. I'll put a link down below for it. You either get it on Amazon Prime, which is what I did. It wasn't that much more expensive, but I needed it for this weekend so I can install it all. Or obviously you can order it, or it takes a little bit more time, but you can get it through eBay. Let me show you guys what you get in the kit. So you get this piece right here, which is basically the main part. It's the part that's going to convert everything and give you the power into the cigarette ports just there. You get a little bracket thing as well. I think this is depending on how you want to install the item. Does it need a surround on it? I think this will also help if you made a mistake. Let me open it, damn it. So this is like the screw bit, so that screws on like that. You have this little bit here, which is like a little flap to protect it with. Now if this is going to be in an open space, I would highly recommend keeping that, but because mine is basically going to be in a hidden away space, I don't think I'm going to need it, so I'm going to slide that off, because it's going to be inside my glove box, so it can just be left open and exposed like that. So yeah, if you made a mistake, let's just say the hole wasn't clean or anything like that, you can basically pop this on, screw it all in place, and that can be how it's fitted on. So that's what I would use that for. Ideally you want a perfect hole, and you can just have this basically just sat there, kind of looking a bit more OEM. You got a few extra little bits and pieces for fitting, and then you've got your wiring, which is going to be used to, it also has a fuse in it, which is quite good. So if you do ever have a problem with anything, it's not gonna blow a fuse. I mean, it's gonna blow the fuse and not cause any kinds of issues. And yeah, it looks like quite a long cable, so you should be able to feed this from whichever live and earth that you find to the cigarette lighter. So I'm gonna start looking for my live and earth points. So everyone, if you have a cigarette lighter in the passenger footwell, brilliant, you can use that to feed into the extra cigarette lighter that we're going to put in over here, or the USB ports, which is for me. I don't have that in place. Now I could easily look inside here and try and find another 12 volt coming through, but so instead of doing that, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to tap into my current cigarette lighter before it gets to it, take the current from there and be able to bring it over through to here. Now in order to do that, you do need to put the car into neutral. So hold on, let me set the camera up nicely. So you put the car into neutral, grab the gear stick, yank it upwards like that. That's that removed. Keep that to the side. You don't want to damage it. From here, I believe it's just a matter of just trying to pick this up. Much easier than it probably is for other cars. Now mine is slightly different because it does have these switches. Oop, moving the camera around. But yeah, it does have the cabling going for the LPG system, which looks like a very clean installation. Right, now how to get to that bad boy? That's what I gotta try and figure out now. So I needed to take all this off either way because that's where I'm going to be feeding the cable through. So now I just need to figure out how to take this off to get underneath it and tap into the power. One thing I might as well do now is take that out, because that shouldn't just be kept there while I'm figuring all this out. So everyone, from here, this is a T20 Torx bit. There's 4 of them here. You just basically loosen and then remove them, and that should allow the whole thing to come out. I'm just going to take those screws out. I'm just going to put the camera down. Right, I'm actually becoming blind here to show you guys this view, but basically you just pop it up, and I believe from here you should be able to now just slide out the whole thing. So unfortunately for me, I have this which has the LPG cable going through it, so I'm just going to have to figure out a way of sliding this through here. There we go. And then this should allow me some space to access everything. There we go. There's a cigarette lighter, there's the cables running to it. Now I'm just going to tap into these 2 bad boys right here, and then that should be me sorted for creating power to get to the other cables. So what I've actually done just now is I've just loosened this up because I'm hoping to feed the cable from there through here into the back area, because obviously it's a long section and to get to this area is actually quite difficult. I'm trying to do this in a way without removing as little as possible, basically, because the easier I make it, the easier it will be for you guys to do it, which is a win-win. So to get this bit off, I basically just pinched it in a little, got my pry under there and just wedged it out, and this bit's come out. From there, the whole thing basically can just slide up like that, and we should be able to have a look inside. Yep, there you go. You can see just roughly where those cables feed through to, and then it should hopefully be able to see a way into that little compartment there. So I'm just going to play around with that a little bit more now. What I'm actually just going to try now is if I feed this in through that way. Let's see if I can get a view of it. Oh, this is so awkward. What I've also done is I've taped the ends together on both sides to allow me to hopefully move it in nice and easier. But right, it's getting stuck on something. So everyone, you can kind of just about see on top of the box, just there in the middle, that's my cable. So I've actually got this like little surgical style thing. Just gonna grab a hold of it, hopefully. Grab it somewhere good. Oh mine. There we go, should be able to. This is very awkward. All the other cable. Oh, and drop my phone. Hold on. I should hopefully. There we go, it's close enough now to the top. Got my hand in there. And move those last couple of cables over and out the way. Voila! Been able to pull the cables through. Let me get the torch. There we go. So now I can easily access them here. Ta-da! I'm actually just doing now is I've loosened this little bolt just here. Just taking this out. That's part of the pieces that holds the whole center console in place, which gives this all a little bit more, a little bit more play now, without having to take too much else of it off. And hopefully I should be able to slide the cables under there. Let's give it a try now. So what I've done now is I've got this metal wire. Now you might not have metal wire, but if you have another thin wire, this is a perfect time to get that out. Basically fed it through from this area just underneath the plastic here, and it's come out just over here, which is perfect. Now I'm just gonna tie that, well, sellotape that with my cables just here. Now I'm just gonna hook it through there as well, because why not? Just gonna hook it through here like this. Sorry, completely focusing on the wrong area then. And then feed that through. So let me just get my tape and get all that attached together. So there you go, it's all taped up. Let's feed it through. Try and make your life easier by just trying to make the cable a bit flat. Ta-da! That was perfect. The tape just gave up at the same time it came through on the other side. So now loosen that up. Oh, there you go. Now loosen all this up, goes the tape. Now it's gonna feed this round this way so it's as close as it can be to the other cables. There we go. So just feed it a little bit through. Now it is gonna need more cable running through because obviously it's gotta go from here all the way to the back area there once this is all pushed back in. But now I'm just gonna join those two up together, so let's go do that. Now then, to join these up, I have got these blue clip connectors that basically allows it all to join in place, but it's not going to let me do it with this bit on the end, so I'm just going to cut this off with some wire cutters. But what I've actually done is I've cut off the end and shredded off some of the insulation, because that will now allow this to fit on perfectly. So now I'm just going to test fit it on here to see that that all goes on nice. Hold on, I need 2 hands for this bit. So I've managed to kind of get that on there. One thing that I have decided to do is I'm going to do it more towards this side because there's a little groove here. So I'm hoping that this plastic can kind of slot into there and not cause too many like disruption over inside, even though technically it shouldn't. There should be enough space there. I just wanted to give it more space, and then obviously I don't want to do it here where those clips are to hold these in place, because obviously that's to hold it in place. Here's another little tip. I basically had to take it all off and do it again. This connector wasn't actually getting a good enough connection with the original cable, so I've stripped away a little bit of the insulator and I'm just connecting it on from there. Excuse the noise in the background, my brother and cousin is currently on the Formula 1 simulator. Hold up. There, where is it? There they are, just over there. But yeah, let's get back onto dealing with this car. Ooh, there we go, yeah! Right, excuse the pinging noise over there, but I've got my voltmeter just here. Just testing it out while it's all here. Connect those bits up. Yep, that's about right. Good stuff. So I've actually put the light up there. Creates an awesome atmosphere up in here, which is actually really cool. It's literally provided light exactly where I need to see. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put everything back together, get all the cabling all in the place that it needs to be, and then gonna look at making a hole in this piece to fit. Ooh, focus on me again. Yeah, you're gonna. Yep, there we go. So yeah, I'm gonna make a hole in this to fit it, the new piece in, and be able to deal with it all from there. So let's jump right to that bit now. Now you might not think this is a big update, but it's very important. Basically, I had to move these bits over to the right hand side. Whenever I was trying to fit it in, it was hitting on that metal thing just there, and it wasn't basically allowing this piece to go back in. So hopefully now that I've moved it over, I've tested it out with one cable going over. Oh, hold on, let me slot these guys back into there roughly, if I can. Right, okay, so with these guys going in now, it should hopefully fit in. Hold on, I need to use 2 hands for this. Another little bit that I need to make you guys aware, basically, oh, let me hold my phone a bit better. This piece of the plastic slots under this piece here, so you have to be aware of that when sliding this in. But once you do, it will all fit back in perfectly. There you go. That's all your cables and everything back into place. Now you can spend some time in just neatening this up and putting everything back on, put everything back into place as it needs to be, and your job's a good one, and we can focus on cutting the hole out of the other piece wherever I've left it. Hey! So with this, I'm actually planning right now where to put it. Now I think I'm going to put this here. Reason being is because I can't slot it this way because it's too big and it won't fit, and I'm just being very cautious if I remove that out of the way. Can't slot it anywhere on this side. Sorry, I'm trying to give you guys some light. Can't slot it anywhere there. This area here, because obviously it's gonna hit here. Can't go anywhere around here, so I'm thinking of having it so it comes down in this kind of a zone here, so I can move some of these wires out the way and just slot it right in the middle just there. Right, this is the point of no return, so in fact I'm just gonna move that out the way slightly, aiming for about the center just here. I'm just gonna keep, there we go. Now this isn't gonna be the middle point of the cut, but right, I gotta be careful with my hands at the back now. Like, ta-da! That's the hole you need now, Jake. Like, right, okay. So I'm just gonna check this hole now, see if it works and lines up where I roughly wanted it to be. Which, if this goes about here, or this way maybe, then it should hopefully be towards the bottom of this. And I'm just gonna test it all out now. Now while I'm actually going to drill out the rest of the holes, I'm basically going to use the bracket that they come with here to mark everywhere that I need to cut. So I think that's just a good helpful thing, because that's literally the size that you need to cut out. That's all it takes. So I'm just gonna carry on cutting all this out, and then once I've finished, I'll show you guys the finished result. So there we go, everyone, that's it installed. I'm just gonna get the locking part, which, let me find it. Ta-da! This piece here. So this basically goes all the way on like this. Locks into place. So that should stop it from moving. And that's it. That looks pretty good, if you don't mind me saying so myself. Spent ages with a Dremel to like sand it down to make sure it's a nice smooth finish underneath there. And so you can't actually see anything from this side that it's been cut in. So now let's go install this into the car. So there we go, test fit. Plugged it all in just to make sure it all works. Tested against my phone and it's working just fine. So focus. There we go. I'm just going to slot this back into place now. I'm just going to connect the auxiliary cable. Quick other little point, you can see that little tab bit there, that has to slot in at the bottom. So as you are sliding it in, you just have to be careful of that. Bear with me. And there we go, that's it all installed, and it's looking mighty fine, if I don't mind me saying so myself. I'm just going to lower this down as well. There we go. So that should, see, it's all nice and low now, fits in there perfectly, and the lights are still on. Just going to press this up, down. It works just as smooth now. And yeah, that's it. It's all done and dusted. There you go. That's the little device and the auxiliary cable all fitted in place. Close it up. You don't see a thing. Whoops. Let me turn that all off now. So, good thing about having this setup is it still keeps the auxiliary cable working, which the other system that you can get encoded and everything like that in place will also work. But the other good thing is you also get an extra USB cable. Obviously, modern day technology, it's going to be helpful, especially if you've got the cables at the front for yourself, and if anyone else is set at the back and they need to charge their phone or anything like that, you got an extra port just there for you. So that's basically this video all wrapped up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me get some light better on myself. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope it has been helpful for some of you. Again, this can be done on the E60 or on any other car that has the auxiliary cable only input, and you do want to have an extra USB port for the little Bluetooth adapter piece. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe, as I'm really trying to hit 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. You know, for all you know, this video could be on and I got way more than 1,000 subscribers, but still subscribe, because it's always helpful for me and I do like to get engaged with everyone. And leave a comment below if you do find this helpful. I'll leave all the information in the description of where I got all the parts and tools from, and, you know, extra little bits and pieces, like for example the magnet. having one of these extra magnets and the little grabber thing was very helpful. So little things, little bits and pieces like that, I think you guys can all use in your garage. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.